Buenas noches. Welcome back to another episode of the BPM podcast, your favorite podcast in the world. If you're not yet following me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you want to support this podcast, this channel, this endeavor of mine, please do so. All of it under the Back Porch Mexican Podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all those things. Support some free 99 knowledge, that I'm giving you every week. And thank you so much. We're gonna get right into it. Last episode I talked about, them grannies. Them grannies are like out there getting some play. They're like, hey, we're not done yet. It ain't over till it's over. And Martha Stewart out there, trying to catch her last breath, if you know what I mean. Just trying to like gasp. I'm sure her DMs are flooded after that Sports Illustrated cover. Like she out there putting it all for you to imagine what it looks like without nothing. And I'm pretty sure you can imagine that if you just close your eyes. You dirty. But what I'm saying is like this boomers are coming in strong this week and this month, this year. They are not letting go. I mean? The boomers are taking over and they want to put up a fight right before they kick the dirt, right before they get into the cremated status. What? What was that? I don't know what was that. But they're still out here swinging and not missing. Obviously, you got Martha Stewart, and another one that comes into mind is Mr. Al Pacino. He is 80 some years old. He out there knocking out 29-year-old girls, knocking them out of the park. This dude is expecting another child at 82 years old. He saw Martha Stewart's like, oh, you think you can outdo Tony Montana? No, you cannot outdo Tony Montana. You're gonna have to do better than that, girl. So he came out and said that his girlfriend, not his wife, his girlfriend. Listen to this, ladies. At 29 years old, and this girl is the run of the litter. You know what I'm saying? She's been out there slinging it with older men for most of her adult life. Right? She's 29. Her clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. And she knows that homeboy's about to kick the dirt. What better way to get that money secured? Secure that bag right now. And then when he passes away, I'll go back to the youngins, back to my. But she's doing it right. You can't. Hey, kudos to her. You know what I'm saying? If he's like, yeah, I'll give you some money, but I gotta put a child on you, girl. And she's like, okay. And Al Pacino got that bag. He ain't no broke boy. He got that bag. But can you imagine, that being your sister? And like, I'm gonna bring my boyfriend to the dinner. And she shows up with Al Pacino. Who cares if he's 100 years old? He is almost 93. Who cares? It's Al Pacino. You make him do the Tony Montana. Chico, the world is yours for the taking. Or some. That's the. I'm not gonna get into it, but because Scarface is not one of my favorite movies, let's say that. But it took a hold of like all the scammers and drug dealers from the underworld. Like all of a sudden he is dubbed in as a Cuban American, but meanwhile they hate Latinos, they hate everybody. But Tony Montana was not, was the catalyst to like this whole sub genre of I'm a gangster, and then it was a well made movie. I just don't know. It's not my type of movie, like I I didn't really like it. My favorite movie of Al Pacino is Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves when he's the devil and he's trying to like make the Antichrist with his own sister, with his own daughter and his own brother. His son and his daughter are, you know what I mean. I watched that movie back in like 97, summer of 97, with the subtitles back in Mexico. And then I watched it again in 2003, still with the subtitles in Spanish, because I didn't learn English right away. You know what I'm saying? Um, but, and then I rewatched it not too long ago with subtitles, but in English. I put subtitles on every single thing I watch because my ears, even though they're like satellite dishes, they don't work really well. So I gotta listen and look at the words. So I'm reading and looking at the screen at the same time. I'm like double tap, and it counts as reading. I didn't know that. Like I like to read, but if I'm watching TV, I'm watching TV and reading at the same time. So I'm like two birds, two hands. What are you talking about? I don't know how that saying goes, but you know what I'm saying. So I watched it again. That's my favorite movie of him. But I found it hilarious that he's out here knocking 29-year-old, and her and everybody's like, oh my God, what about the baby? He's not gonna know his father. Yeah, his father's gonna be Benjamin Franklin, and he's gonna get a stepdad that's adequate to his age. The stepdad's probably gonna have already a daughter or a son. She's gonna be a little bit. Oh, I miss my granddad, my granddaddy. I miss him so much. I give her 6 months. 6 months of just lay low, cash in those checks, put them in separate bank accounts, and then wilding out, getting a nanny for the kid. She's 29. She is not young anymore. Her, then it's ticking. Time is ticking. But I was reading some of the comments under um, the post that I saw that Al Pacino was going to be a daddy for the fourth time. He's only got 3 kids, which is weird, right? So I dived into this comments, and this is one of the funniest comments I've out of like 300 comments I read. This one is the best. It says, I'm 89 and I ain't saying a word, but money does talk, and I ain't got that kind of talk. Had a prostate cancer at age 65 and no problem. My partner of 12 years, she passed 1.5 years ago and ain't looking. Still in shape, do 3/4 split, ballroom dance, still have a head full of hair and no complaints. Grandpa, 89, 90 years old, and I want to see it. I want to. He's trying to fish. He's like, hey, any 29-year-olds out here trying to get some? Because obviously he married somebody that was not young. He married somebody that's older, or a little bit younger. Who cares? But grandpa out here, lie, cap. He's capping all the way through. Or maybe he's not. 90-year-old, and he's still got a full head of hair. I find that hard to believe. I'm 36 and I'm losing mine. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? Am I losing mine? I don't think I'm losing mine. I think I have thick hair, luscious hair, perfect hair. But that's just me. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? You see your imperfections? I don't. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Why am I looking at the things that I don't like? Who cares? I'm gonna focus on the things I like about myself. Like the shoulders. This nice height that I have, 5'7". Tall. But my take on this is just, who's in the wrong here? Is Al Pacino in the wrong? Is she in the wrong? Or Al Pacino just trying to get the last nut out? You know, like if that how he goes out, if like he's like, hey, I'm gonna put in some work right now, about 15 minutes, I'm gonna run out of breath, my heart's gonna explode, and this Viagra is gonna fucking kick in like a mule. So if I go out inside, inserted while on my back, so be it. Best way you, That's the best way to go out. That's the way you came in. You know, if that's the thing that brought you back into life, and that's the back into life, that means that we were alive somewhere else. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Peep the game. That's how you came into the world. If that takes you out, it's like recycling, like full circle. The life is full circle, right? In his mind, there's no love because he knows. You don't think he knows that this 29-year-old is out after, or maybe she does have daddy issues. Maybe she doesn't have a dad. Maybe she's just likes wrinkly ball sacks and like those bruises that old people get on their legs and arms. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen old people legs? I know I'm gonna get them. But you see them bruises on their legs and like their feet are all jacked up. They're throwing gang signs and shit. Maybe she's into that. You can't kink shame anyone, you know? Or maybe she likes that they don't fucking talk a lot. Or maybe, who knows? Because she dated some other 74-year-old famous dude. I think Steve Tyler, or something like that. Make sure that's right, Jamie. Oh, that's right. I don't have a Jamie. I'm not fucking Joe Rogan. I gotta fact check my own stuff, you know? So, listen, guys. I just wanted to get on and let it all out. You know what I'm saying? I think it was funny. I think it's hilarious to me that people are like, oh my God, the baby's not gonna know its father. Yeah, and what? And who cares? The baby doesn't care. The baby doesn't know. But if it's a girl, she's starting the cycle again. You know, if that baby is a girl, she's just starting the new cycle of her own person all over again. No father figure, likes older man, this is how things happen, I'm assuming. So, who am I to judge any of them? I just find it, let them do whatever they want to do. Is it news? Is it affect you in your daily life? No, but it's kind of amazing that it makes me kind of doubtful a little bit. 82-year-old sperm? 82-year-old sperm? There might be a little foul play right there. Just a little bit. I'm not saying there is, but just 82? Have you ever seen 80? They are fragile and they don't want to do much. They want to drink coffee, read the paper, and stare out the window. And homeboy out here, a savage, breaking people's back, breaking, what's her name? Noor Alfalfa? Oh, Alfala. Alfala. Oh, yeah. Somebody in Pakistan is not happy right now. Somebody out there in the Middle East is like, what is going on over there in America? This is why we hate them. Because they taking our young ones, and you know what I'm saying. 82-year-old sperm. Still swimming strong like Mike. Dude, Michael Phelps right there. And this boy's sack. Swimming strong still against the 29-year-old current. Which is, he needs a medal for this. Let's Google this real quick. Who's the oldest dad? Let's see. Real quick. Who the oldest father in the world? Les Coley has his ninth child, a son named Oswald, at the grand age of 92 years old and 10 months after meeting a Fijian woman through a dating agency in the 90s. Below is a list of some of the world's oldest fathers with unconfirmed reports suggesting one man could have been more than 100 when he had his final child. All right, so maybe, just maybe, who's the oldest father to have a baby? Oh, these people are villagers, for sure. He's on the Guinness World Record. Imagine you make the world Guinness record for, father and a child at 92. How long did that take? Like, did you save it for a whole month? Did you were just not even touching her and got horned up for a whole month, and then you gave her the fucking 3 minutes of her life and a baby? Let me see that picture. Oh yeah, homeboy don't look 92. He looks old, but I know a 60-year-old that looks defeated already. How, Robert De Niro had a baby at 79. Oh, Robert De Niro out there trying to. It's a competition between these boomers. We got to take a stand against these boomers. They're going to overpopulate this goddamn earth. Let them have kids. 80, that is crazy. 92. I'm 36 and I don't want any more kids. None. Zero. Zilch. I'm done. What man has fathered most children? Oh, well, Genghis Khan, that Chinese guy, right? Alrighty. That was kind of an exciting note, but with that, my friends, I'm going to leave you guys to it, not taking any more of your time. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Thank you for your support. See you next week, because remember, this ain't your army, baby. Playa.